we're live. Sweet. Alright, so... Wait, what did I sound? Alright, I think we're live. We got the... change the title. There we go. Okay. Oh my god, it double clicked. See, problem is I got a new device. It's supposed to be better than Sayo. It's the Wooting Uwu. And I will say it's definitely better in some regards. You have a lot more control, but that has an adaptation curve itself. It's like way better for spam, but I feel like it's about the same, but the keycaps are a bit nicer, I'll say that. It's definitely better quality than the Sayo device, I'll say that. One thing I like about the Sayo is it's a bit smaller. Like, this thing has a bit of girth, I guess, to it. So my hand can't rest as easily on it. So that is slightly discomforting, but when the actuation is what, 0.1 milliseconds, I mean I would say this is better to work with in the long run because it's just much more responsive in just such a short time. It's basically the minute my finger presses on this, it's registering input in the game effectively. I feel like that's better than getting used to some sort of subconscious delay. This level's pretty fun. I just don't like that there's several choke points, especially like before the actual drop. There's one really bad choke point in the drop, but most of it's pretty consistent. But basically, from 26% to the drop is the hardest part of the level, in my opinion. And it's that cute part used to bother me, not too much anymore. That part's actually really fun. It's the easier parts that I personally find much harder. But I got tired of practice. I have thousands of attempts on this level. And this is supposed to be easier in Aftermath, which took me less than 48 hours and about 2,000 attempts. This is taking way more than that. I actually think this is I've practiced quite a bit of Bloodbath. I would say this is, without doubt, like just beneath Bloodbath in my opinion. One of my friends said this is harder than Bloodbath, that this is actually above Bloodbath, which I would say if this level was the length of Bloodbath, because it is a short level relatively. It's not too short, but it's on the shorter end compared to many other extremes. If it were the length of Bloodbath, this would absolutely be, I would say, at least 50% harder. Just because you have a lot of... Bloodbath has some choke points, but it's pretty consistent overall. This will have, like, really easy gameplay, followed by something look, like, this is really easy. There's not much timing or precision here. It's just really chill. This is chill, too. And then right after that part with the spikes took me a while to get used to. And I still die there a lot because it's, it's not the easiest segment of gameplay. You can't get too low either. It's not perfectly evened out, so it's hard. It's definitely, I would say this is like a medium difficulty extreme. I mean, you could definitely do this as your first, but I feel like there's just so many better options because the choke points in this level would likely torture someone doing this as their first. I would suggest Cataclysm. I don't like Red World. That one is also very choke pointy. I would actually say Aftermath would be a great first extreme, even though supposedly it's much harder than Cataclysm. I actually found it to be extremely balanced and like 20 times more enjoyable. The nice thing about Cataclysm is the ending is really easy. Once you get past that ship for the last wave, I mean, I didn't die after that. I'm not saying others won't and have. I mean, definitely a lot of people have died there, but it's arguably much easier gameplay that way compared to the ship before it. So, and then you just have a straight fly after that, pretty much, and then you beat the level. So I like that. This level, the ending of this level is actually very fun and very well made. It's just, if you have, like most of us, if you're anxiety prone, the difficulty of that segment's gonna increase tenfold because it's swing copter too. It's not, it's, how would I put it? It's gameplay that can, that last spike is slightly too high. If you go too low on the spike below it, literally is guaranteed that you'll die. What sucks is you can pass that spike and they'll still kill you at the next one. That's not. The Platnuu doesn't really care about their gameplay if you ask them. They don't really put as much attention. They don't try to make things that great. They've said that to me, so. I would say they do make really good levels though. I love Delta Interface. That one is probably, I love this level, but Delta Interface is like peak. There's a couple choke points on it, but I practiced that level for quite some time too. I was pretty positive I was going to be able to get myself to beat it, but I ended up dropping it, but it was very fun to practice alone. And I found that it had a pretty nice, getting consistent levels a very pleasant process. This one not as much. Because there's still choke points. They're super choky. I hate that you have to, I'm so tired of doing the beginning part of this level. I would rather do this beginning part up to 32%. Like 100 times in a row, just to be able to play it 100 times with the start position from 32%. Because this is so unfun to do, and it's just the anxiety gets to me. I don't understand how people say calm playing G-Deals. My mind literally torments me. So I usually like to get overly consistent. Curious what level I'm gonna do after. So I was thinking of trying to beat Red World because it's really, I don't want to say free, but it's very easy. There's a couple tricky parts, and I mean it's like similar to this level. I'm only gonna follow through on this one because I put in enough effort. But with Red World, it's like I don't want to go through this process again. I'd rather do something that's more consistent throughout the entire level. I was thinking of picking up Catalyze again, but I wish I had done it sooner because I used to be very consistent at the drop, and now I'm not at all. It kind of sucks because I put in a lot of time and effort into getting pretty consistent. Pre-drop wise, I'm good. It's post this drop and onward that I'm no longer that great with, unfortunately. There's a lot of extreme demons now, so you have. Of course, I died there. You have a lot of good options now. You have a lot of good options. Back when I played, when I first started playing, extreme demons were like, you could count them on your hand. There used to be insane demons on the main list, like, that's how far back we're talking about. I really miss that. But the good news is now there's a lot of extremes you can do, so if you want to be an extreme demon, you got over 15, I believe over 1,500, including unrated ones to pick from, and that's awesome. There's a lot of good ones in that batch, with wide variety of difficulty. So you got really easy extremes, you got easy ones, you got medium ones, hard ones, very hard, insane, and then like pushing the human limit around the top. Let's say. I understand how people play like Thinking Space 2. I tried playing it and I just, like, back in the day, top ones did not feel like impossible levels. They felt like levels you'd have to put a lot of effort into. And, you know, people get a lot more progress on them much sooner than they do now. Like, it's wild to me seeing people not beat a top level for like a year. Like that. Back in my day, it was like, you know, a few months and someone would beat it, and that would be like, I remember the gap between someone being Bloodbath felt like it was massive. And that was a big deal. And now like Bloodbath is such a standard extreme demon. It's just like, oh hey, you want to try and challenge yourself in extreme? Here you go, play this one. Of course, there's, you know, several hundred levels that are arguably 10 to 20, 30 times harder in it. And now we have people trying roles like Eternus, which is, you know, you have a 5% segment in Eternus, so you can compare to being a single extreme demon's difficulty. It's absurd. I do think that's, I don't even know if a human limit's necessarily possible. Because you got levels like Angel Side 2, which I don't even know how that guy's finger is like intact. The amount of spam, it's spam with precision. That's the brutal part. Spam or precision is something else. Spam is one thing. Precision is just... that's where it gets really interesting. I do like precise spam. It is pretty fun, but not at that level. There's no way. Back when I first started playing, Sakupa in Hell was considered impossible. So many levels are like easy extremes or medium extremes now, were once like outright impossible. Or claimed to be impossible. Silent Clubstep, someone's making good progress on the unnerfed version, which is, I believe, I don't even know if that's top 1 anymore. It's probably top 3 or 5 at least. Now we have players like Zoink. It's insane. only curiosity is if there are other players like Zoink that haven't even made their way to the community yet. You know, time and growing player base, eventually someone, and I always like to think, like, are there players out there that, you know, if they don't bother putting themselves on YouTube or on the list, that have been, like, absurdly hard levels? You can imagine if there's a Zoink out there and we just don't know because they don't make themselves present. That's, like, super cool to me. Is nobody joining my stream? Man, how are streamers supposed to get anywhere if they can't get views? So tired of dying. It's unreal that, like, statistically speaking, I should be really near beating this. But anxiety, I've fallen with so many good runs. My two furthest runs were in places I just never die at. Like 53, very few times. And then 60, which I just, in tons of, I did about, like, maybe 100 runs in that place and probably died there once. And then on my actual attempt, I actually died there. It's like why? I wasn't even anxious or anything. I was playing normally. It's just, I don't know. how I'm dying there. I don't know how I'm dying there. I have no idea how I keep dying there. Man. I have no idea how I keep dying. I don't know where my consistency went. What? I literally clicked the purple orb. There's no reason I should have died. Maybe I gotta return this thing. The Wooding brand sucks. Maybe that's just the problem. Maybe I just need to use my Sail. Dude, I can't. Why am I dying there so much? I am literally, if I go into practice mode right now, I swear to God, I will pass it every single time. Why am I dying there so much? I'm literally playing it the same exact way I do in the copyable. It makes no sense. Statistically, this does not make sense at all. There is no logical reason why I should be dying there. Dude, I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I keep getting to this part and I keep dying. I'm literally not clicking. There's no reason. There's literally no reason I should be dying there. I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong with the physics engine. I don't fucking know. This is genuinely pissing me off. I'm like, okay, on one hand, I'm really glad I'm getting there way more often now, but I'm dying there just as much. That's not changing. And I've practiced that part too much. I mean, I can't. There's no more improvement to be had. If I go in the copyable, I'm just going to keep doing it. So I don't understand why is it when I'm playing the full level, the physics seem different. The click patterns don't match. Come on. Come on. Dude, come on. When am I gonna pass that part? This is getting crazy. I keep getting there, I just can't pass it. This is insane. I can't get much more consistent at this. But I guess technically we're improving, it's just we keep hitting this wall. Choke point. I really wish that part was nerfed. I really do. I have no idea how this is supposedly easier in Aftermath. It is twice as hard as Aftermath, literally. I clicked, it's a bug. I'm phasing through the fucking orb. I literally clicked, I double clicked, that purple orb just did not register. It just didn't happen. That's absurd. That is so absurd. I clicked, you could hear the click, it just didn't go through. It's not happening anywhere else on this level, so something's definitely wrong with the game. That's a game bug. I wonder if it's because of Rob Top's click between frames thing. I think his thing is honestly just that broken that it's making physics not work. Or failing hitbox registration. I was thinking of trying another level that I played a bit and I really like, even though it's really difficult. It's called Escape Room? Something Room. I think it's Escape Room. It's around the difficulty of Shardscapes, which is really difficult, but I've played it a few times, done several practice runs. I can tell you the level is consistent, has good gameplay, and doesn't really feel like it has any choke points, literally, like in the design of the level. Can't say about anxiety making certain parts harder than they are. I could definitely say it doesn't really have that many choke points from what I could tell. I don't know if you practice level and be consistent in certain parts, if those choke points will become evident or not. I didn't feel any. The beginning is pretty difficult though. The beginning's pretty difficult. I like the drop to the ending part much more. I'd say maybe the ship at the end can be a bit choky. But it plays well still.